Fantastic hosts, but who can put on the big welcome here? ZHOLCHUBEKOV, the man in blue. MARYANYAN, well, you can guess what colour he is wearing. But who's going to go home with the bronze? The battle begins. Referee's got a close eye on them. And of course, Brian Hazard, our expert analysis, big attempt at a throw there.
And just like that, no exposure, but they love the fact that they are attempting holds in the match. And so right away, a 2-point throw, but it looks like it is going to be challenged.
Yeah, the referee threw up the 2 fingers. You can see the little wristbands that he's wearing, along with the Eiffel Tower mascot, Effie, which has just fallen on the mat there. He threw up the 2 fingers for this one here. And you were saying not any exposure. Can you explain what that would mean?
Sure. So in freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling, you're going to score points by getting a takedown, which you get your opponent under control, or you're going to expose their back past 90 degrees. And so if he had thrown him over top, feet to exposure of the back, that would have been a 4-point hold. But since he didn't get the exposure, the ref said, we like the fact that you tried, and so we're going to give you 2.
Well, the referee threw up the 2, but there's a mat chairman and a mat judge. Have they overruled it?
They have white paddled it, and because of that, no points. Now, if the Russians had have lost the challenge, not only would they have lost those 2 points, but they would have also lost 1 point for the challenge not being accepted.
So the penalty point avoided, the scoreboard as we were. 30 seconds or so ticked down on this 3-minute opening period here. The high elbow there from MARYANYAN, just digging into the face of ZHOLCHUBEKOV. Means business straight away, the Russian.
It all depends on the officials here. I've enjoyed the officiating, and after the whistle, I love the wave of the finger. Just waves his finger in his face. No, no, no. You know, he's telling him no. That is the international sign for no, is the wave in the finger.
Exactly, the big push, the big shove, but no points, but a sign of intent from MARYANYAN. Couldn't care less, and he's really digging that elbow in on the blind side of the referee, who's now given the first little polite warning for passivity, puts the hand in the air.
And passivity doesn't mean it's a lack of scoring. It just means that a lack of action. And so in the first 45 seconds, typically we'll see our first passivity call. Then within a minute, you'll see your second one called for if there's no action, the other athlete. And then the third one will be called right about 1:30 to 1:40, because we're never going to go into the second period tied at 0. So at the second call, which we just had, MARYANYAN received 2 passivity calls, so ZHOLCHUBEKOV receives 1 point for those 2 passivity calls.
Yeah, passivity in Paris. And ZHOLCHUBEKOV, well, he pacifies his opponent here, sneaks around the back for a little 2-point takedown. In fact, a 4-point throw as well.
So they win a 4-point feet to back. They said that MARYANYAN exposed ZHOLCHUBEKOV's back on the way down for 4 points, and then right away went to a gut wrench where he locked around the waist and rolled him through, exposed the back for 2 more points. So 6-1 our score now.
Well, how quickly fortunes change here. MARYANYAN was 1 point down. He's now got a 5-point gap here. And flipped ZHOLCHUBEKOV on his back, threw him over, and that just shows you how dynamic this sport is. It seems that you have to be patient, you have to look for opportunities, but these guys explode into action as ZHOLCHUBEKOV tries to change direction, goes low and comes up high, but comes up dry without any points.
And from what we've seen today, a 6-point lead is pretty difficult to come back from. Although you can receive big points, feet to back for 4 or high amplitude for 5 points, often it's going to be very difficult to score that many points in a Greco-Roman match.
And points make prizes here at the World Championships, day number 2. And we're going to see the clock tick down, and we will come into period number 2. But mercifully for both wrestlers, they get a little minute to go and catch their breath and get some coaching instructions. Well, you've talked a little bit there, Brian, about trying to get that gap and narrow it down. What can ZHOLCHUBEKOV do from here to change the balance of this?
I think we talked a little bit about it last night. He's going to need to score early. If he lets it go to the last minute, at that point, many times the referee will put his whistle away, and unless he's making attempts, these athletes are so good at defense, and I guarantee MARYANYAN is going to keep his hands on him, but keep him at bay and keep him away from going chest to chest.
Well, let's see if ZHOLCHUBEKOV can take those wise words and turn them into action from his coach. He's straight onto it here, trying to be aggressive. Pushing forward, but MARYANYAN doing well just to shuffle round and hold the centre of the mat. Obviously, if you step out of that yellow section, a point goes against you, so you've got to try and manage the real estate, hold the territory. And it is MARYANYAN in bronze medal territory at the moment. Both men locked up on the inside. ZHOLCHUBEKOV tries to hook over the shoulder.
And again, the battle in between the two of them, just in between their chests and in between their abdomens, those hand fighting, trying to attack two hands on one, or getting their arms underneath into underhook positions, or snapping the head. All basic skills to Greco-Roman wrestling. And right there, posting on the head and looking to attack at the hips. ZHOLCHUBEKOV is really running out of time.
Yep, running out of time and running out of energy as well. Although this may help. The first little warning against MARYANYAN. So ZHOLCHUBEKOV could find his way back into this, tries to change that angle of attack, but every time you go to the mat and come back up, it takes a lot of energy.
Absolutely, and MARYANYAN is not allowing ZHOLCHUBEKOV to get to an angle, and we look for angles. If you can get to the side and get to an angle and get your hands locked around a body lock, there's a lot more opportunities to score. Chest to chest is not a good position, and just like that, MARYANYAN really countered his high dive with just a little chest and a little chest to chest throw, and MARYANYAN scores 4 points and a victory.
Well, the wonderful way he was superior in every facet. If there is an 8-point gap in Greco-Roman, it will be all over. And as Brian's just told us, MARYANYAN managed to do that. ZHOLCHUBEKOV, they gave it what he had, wasn't enough. And that little sacrifice throw, he tried to go for the golden Hail Mary throw, couldn't get it done, finds himself out of it.
The fact that he was going for it, though,
yeah,
didn't just let it happen. You know, if you have an athlete, and if I have an athlete on my team, and I always tell them, leave it out on the mat. You want them to leave it out on the mat so that they can't look back.